What's up, y'all? It is your girl, DJ Ashley Ross. Wild card weekend is in the books. We are on our way to the divisional round, so you know what time that means. Ashley's Hot Takes! Yeah! Before I dive into all the games, I just want to give another thank you to NFL analyst Nate Burleson. Came on my Instagram live. We had a great preview show, talked about all the games this weekend. Thank you once again, Nate, and thank you to everybody that tuned in. Let's get into the first game. If you watch me and Nate's Instagram live, you know that we were riding with the Chiefs 100%. I had said in the pre-show, they haven't won a game at Arrowhead in 24 years. And I was like, you know what? Today is the day. But the Tennessee Titans, they had other plans. I want to backtrack a little bit to the start of this game. I thought the Chiefs looked amazing in the first half. I mean, I was looking at them like, you know, they could really make a push in the AFC, maybe the Super Bowl. And then that second half, I don't know what happened. Actually do know what happened. Tennessee went into that locker room and they made some great second half adjustments, and I think Kansas City started to play a little bit conservative, and that can be a flaw of Kansas City. They don't want to take that deep shot. They don't want to take that move that's going to take them to the next level. And I can't give the Chiefs a pass. You were up 21-3 at halftime. I understand wanting to protect the lead, but when you let a team score 18 unanswered points on you, what are you doing? What are you doing? I understand that they were playing without their star Titan, Travis Kelce, but I'm not using that as an excuse either, because he went down early in the game and that offense still kept rolling, and the Titan that came in for him, he still did a really good job. So the Chiefs have no one to blame but themselves. On the flip side, I'm going to give the Tennessee Titans a lot of credit. They came out in that second half and they had a lot of heart. And you know, the Titans, they might not be the most glamorous football to watch. It's not the funniest, most exciting, but Derrick Henry, why hasn't he Titans starter all year? I understand they have DeMarco Murray, but let's not live in the past. DeMarco Murray has not been that elite player since that one season in Dallas with that great offensive line. I'm just calling a fact a fact. DeMarco, good for you, but Derrick Henry is the future of the Titans. Speaking of futures up in the air, Alex Smith's future with the Chiefs is very much in question right now. People are calling for the rookie. They drafted him number 10th overall. Is it time for Alex to leave? I think it is. I say that as a fan of Alex Smith. I believe that he had a great run with the Chiefs, but he is going to have to go to a different situation and really be able to prove once and for all that he is not that quote-unquote game manager if that's what he's chasing. Titans are in. The Chiefs, they are out of the playoff picture. Titans will travel to Foxborough to play Tom Brady and the crew. That's going to be a good one. I am not going to be doing a preview show on this hot take, so that's going to be later on in the week. So stay tuned for that. Let's go Rams Falcons. Into the game, I feel like the whole state of California was just buzzing. I mean, everybody was so excited. There was playoff football back in LA. Would the game live up to the hype? I think it was a good game. I would rank it like the third or fourth game of the weekend. Simple fact that we were looking forward to seeing two high-octane offenses go at it, and it wasn't really this offensive battle like a lot of us were expecting. So it wasn't a lot of points. There weren't a lot of huge plays going on. So for those reasons, that's why I ranked it one of the least exciting games of the weekend. It still was good. I mean, you were seeing a young Rams team versus an Atlanta team that kind of clawed their way into the playoffs. I just think the Rams' inexperience really shined through and they weren't ready. When I say not ready, I mean, I just don't think they were really able to fully handle the moment the way they would have liked, but which is completely understandable. I mean, you're a young team. It's your first time in the playoffs in like 10 plus years. So I get it, but they lost. Yes, are they professionals? Are they paid to do this? Of course they are, but we all can understand and relate to some time in our life where there was a huge stage and you're just nervous. You don't know what to expect, and I just think that's what happened to the Rams. It was a lot. You have an Atlanta team who's been on the biggest stage and completely blown it. So I think Atlanta's experience being in a high-pressure situation like a playoff atmosphere boded well for them, and we saw that. We saw their composure throughout the game. I could just see Atlanta's mentality in this game. They had a wrong to right, and especially towards the end when the Rams kind of tried to make a push, to come back into the game. Atlanta said, we are not going to let a New England Part 2 happen, and they buckled down, took care of business, came out of LA with the win. Let's go down south. Jacksonville taking on the Buffalo Bills. Two Cinderella stories. Both teams haven't been in the playoffs forever. Somebody had to win. who would that be? Now, if you watch the game, I know it wasn't the most visually appealing game to watch. I mean, let's just start with offense. Let's get the obvious out of the way. Blake Bortles was afraid to make a mistake, so he channeled his inner Tim Tebow, and honey, he got to run him. I can sit here and point out the obvious, why it's problematic when your quarterback throws for less than 100 yards, rushes for more yards than he threw for, and I don't even want to know. I think he completed 12 out of 23. We could point all those things out. But I'm hyped. I am not going to get down on Blake Bortles for that because, look, at the end of the day, as much as we want to be analysts, we want to say we want to see a certain way, all I care about is a win. And Jacksonville came out with a win yesterday, so do I realistically think you can go on and make a playoff run playing like that? Absolutely not. No. But in that moment, in that day, they got the win. And this defense is so good that he just need him to do the bare minimum. Jalen Ramsey, AJ Bouye, that front line presence, the linebackers, they got this. They got this thing on lock. Blake but you gotta throw, Blake. Like, you a quarterback. You gotta make some throws eventually. On the game a little bit more, I think the Bills gave a great, solid effort. Tyrod, I mean, give it to Tyrod. He was under distress all day, ended up getting knocked out late in the game. Tyrod, we're praying for you out here, but that defense is lit. It was just a game of survive and advance. Jacksonville, they survive, and now they will advance to take on the Steelers. Let's go to the Trilogy, the most hype game coming into the weekend. Panthers taking on the Saints. This was the third time these teams would face each other. The team totally lived up to the hype for me. And what I loved so much was the Saints' effort. You know, Carolina game plan said, okay, hey, we're going to take away your two-headed monster. But they forgot they got Hall of Famer Drew Brees back there, and Drew can still get it done with his arm. That's why, to me, this Saints team is so deadly, because you kind of have to pick your poison. Either they're going to beat you in the run game, or they're going to beat you in the throwing game, and that's what makes them so deadly to me. Plus, the defense is playing well. Saints are going to be tough for any team. Irony of Carolina's loss is that they got burned by their former deep threat, Ted Ginn Jr., and that's really what Carolina's missing. They're missing those one or two pieces that can really take this team back over the edge. They lost to Josh Norman. They lost to Ted Ginn Jr., and while these players might not have jumped off the map when they were at Carolina, it's amazing when you lose a player, how they were just okay in your system, but once they're out of your system, you realize how much you really did value that player. The Saints move on along with the Jaguars, the Falcons, and the Titans to the divisional round next weekend. I'm going to do a special Hot Takes episode where I kind of get into those games. I might do another Instagram Live. We might have another guest, so stay tuned. That is it for this week's edition of Ashley's Hot Takes. Please message me, comment. I hope you guys enjoyed. We will be bringing you all the divisional round coverage next week. See you then. Have a great week. Bye.